So, where is William? The investigation powers on, and both the New South Wales Police and William's family refuse to give up searching. Before I speak with Detective Chief Inspector Gary Jubelin, I spoke with William's foster parents 2 years ago. 1 year, that was, after he disappeared. Here's part of that interview.
I cannot even begin to imagine what you're going through, but worse still, the fact that you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Is that the worst thing?
Yeah. And on top of that is you have to live with it every day. And there's no end. There's no end to this. If we knew William had been murdered, if we had a body, there's closure to that. There's no closure to this because every day is hope. And it's so hard. We've just come on the back end of 12 months. And at a personal level, I think I've been holding it together. But this is 12 months. I can't keep this. It's just, I can't believe we're 12 months down the track and we don't have him.
It seems to have taken so long, but to be here 12 months later without a result is astonishing.
Outside of the time that I spent with William's parents, I have spent in their company and seen them to be the most incredible parents you could imagine. Now, that was 1 year after the disappearance. We're now 3 years on from his disappearance. You could imagine how they're feeling on a day like today. A Supreme Court order has ruled that details of William's rather complicated family history can be published, and we now know his biological parents are Carly Tyrrell and former prison inmate Brendan Collins. But in a statement posted on the Where's William Tyrrell Facebook page yesterday, his foster parents wrote, "William, we will never stop loving you. We will never stop looking for you. And until the tomorrow we yearn for comes, we will never give up hope that you will be found and returned home to the arms of your loved ones where you belong." Your heart just breaks reading what they wrote on that Facebook page. I want to speak now with Detective Chief Inspector Gary Jubelin, who's leading the investigation. He's on the line. Gary Jubelin, thank you very much for your time.
Good afternoon, Chris.
What are your feelings on a day like today? Do you hold out hope that the coverage of his disappearance once again might give you something that you need to effect an arrest? Are you sad? Are you glum on a day like today? You've been right across this investigation from the get-go. How do you feel on a day like today?
It's certainly not a milestone that I hoped we would reach, 3 years, and we still haven't found the answers. And emotions of sadness, yes, I am sad, and listening to the parents speak after 12 months and speaking to them regularly, knowing what they're going through, it's unresolved grief that is just like a living nightmare for them each day. But from a police point of view, it's not about hope. We're realists. And the way that we approach this matter, we're determined to find out what's happened. We haven't given up on the investigation, and nor do we intend to give up on the investigation. People say, well, 3 years, when does it come to an end? When do you stop looking for answers as to what happened to William? Well, the answer is very simple. We don't stop looking. We will continue on looking until we find out what's happened to William. So it's certainly 3 years down the track. It weighs very heavily on myself, but also my team on Strike Force Roseanne, who have been tasked with the responsibility of finding out what's happened to William, and it doesn't sit well. We know public have an expectation that matters like this will be solved, and there's certainly a great deal of interest in the matter, so we're determined to continue on and find out what has happened.
When you say continued on, the Strike Force is made up of how many members now?
We've got 12 full-time members. That varies on occasions, but we have people from homicide, we have people from sex crimes and other different squads, together with some analysts.
So each and every day these 12 set about trying to find the missing pieces in the disappearance of William Tyrrell?
Yes, and that's and they're driven by the fact that we realise that this is something that we have to solve. Motivation isn't hard on a matter like this. This is the type of investigation that you train for, you prepare for, and this is the one where you use all your skills. And the team I've got there, and they don't want their praises sung because they're just doing their job, and we're very mindful that we haven't completed our job. Our job was to find out what's happened to William, and we haven't achieved that. And there's no celebration for us on 3 years since his disappearance. It just sort of hits us right in the face that we've got to find out what's happened to him.
How many persons of interest have you interviewed, Gary?
Look, breaking down the statistics, this is one of the largest investigations being run by New South Wales Police. We've had over 4,000 pieces of information received. We've had hundreds of people put on what we call a persons of interest list. To get on that list, the bar doesn't have to be particularly high. I don't want to over-dramatise it. It's people that we need to follow up. Since I last spoke publicly about this matter with the announcement of the $1 million reward, we've probably reduced the list by a couple of hundred, but it's a dynamic investigation, so as we reduce persons of interest, other information comes in and people might be added to it.
Do you think you've interviewed the person that took William?
Given my experience in homicide investigations and what's known globally about homicides investigation, invariably that we have the name of the person responsible for it in the huge data bank of information that we have, and we're very mindful of that with all the names that we have there. Most likely scenario is that the name of the person responsible for this is contained in that list of names that we've got.
It may have also been the case that that person turned up with all those hundreds of others to search for him too.
Look, we consider all situations, and it wouldn't be the first time that people involved in crimes have ingratiated themselves into an investigation, be it help searching for the victim. Those that know Kendall, it's a very isolated town, and we've always worked on the theory someone had to have a connection to that town and to that area to be there at that particular point in time.
Let me ask you this. What concerns me most are the type of people William's biological father might be connected with. Is it possible that someone from that area has heard about William's adoption through maybe his father or another family member? They haven't acted in connection with the father or the family, but have acted independently to take him away?
Chris, that's certainly a case theory, and one that doesn't shock me that that you're theorising on that. We look at those aspects. We're very much aware of the circumstances of William's biological family and also the situations in regards to the foster family. I've said publicly that I have eliminated the foster parents and the biological parents. I take on board what you're saying and considerations of people associated or any. This is a unique crime, so we're keeping an open mind to all possibilities. We've looked at lines of inquiry. We're covering every lines of inquiry. It's a situation when you've been going for 3 years on an investigation that we do explore all possibilities. Then we go back and check what we've done in the past and revisit it. So we are exploring all options.
A senior police officer in New South Wales, a retired police officer, made the statement about a week or so ago that rewards sometimes don't do much for an investigation. What did that $1 million reward do for your investigation?
Yeah, look, first of all, I'm not in a position, I'm not a corporate spokesperson for the New South Wales Police in regards to rewards, but I'm happy to talk about this particular one, this specific reward. It was the circumstances that I fully supported the $1 million reward on this occasion due to the interest from the public, the manner in which information was being received, and I thought this particular matter warranted a reward of that nature. But of course, that's not up to me to determine, and I know there's thoughts by people that rewards are a waste of time.
John Laycock was his name, yeah.
I'm very much aware of who you're talking about, Chris. I'd just say this, I can talk on my own experience, and rewards have helped murder investigations I've been involved in. So, but each case is unique, and I don't really want to discuss the merits of rewards. I can discuss this matter.
What would you say now to someone listening who knows a little bit about this disappearance and is terrified to say anything about what they know? What's your message to them right now?
Okay, my message to people out there that might have information relating to this, that they might have a fear of coming forward, not wanting to get involved, and I understand that. I can say that if someone did have information about this matter, we could treat it with the strictest of confidence, and no one would even know that they provided the information to us. I give you that personal guarantee. The other thing that I would say that if people have doubts about someone close to them, it was raised to me this morning in a previous interview about the possibility of this, because we've had $1 million award, this being a person that's acted on their own. What I say to that is that's a possibility, but also that person, with those people close to him or her, would be acting strange at the mention of William Tyrrell. Now, that might be an overreaction, an underreaction, but there would be something that doesn't quite add up when William Tyrrell's name is out there. But the $1 million award is still there on offer. We're interested in people coming forward. I do need to stress at this stage too, Chris, and people do attempt to help, but we need to use a common sense approach to this as well. Gone are the times when we're looking for a 3-year-old child in a Spider-Man suit. It's 3 years down the track. We've also been inundated with information from people who had dreams and clairvoyance. This is not information that we work with. We work with factual information. So I would certainly put the appeal out to anyone that thinks they may have information. Provide that information to us, and we'll see where it takes us.
That Crime Stoppers number 1-800 333 000, 1-800 333 000. I think the family is in good hands to have you running this investigation, and we wish you all the best and the best of luck with how this turns out. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Good on you. Detective Chief Inspector Gary Jubelin. Wow. 1-800 333 000. I've also placed the interview I did with his parents on our Facebook page, The Chris Smith Show. Stephen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chris. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
That's the way. The reason why I'm ringing up, my son's birthday is today on the 12th and 9th, and he was 6 years old when William disappeared, and my son was wearing a Superman outfit, and every day leading up to, 3-4 days leading up to my son's birthday, I cringed to their family just for feeling so empathetic, like for their feelings and, for what they're missing out on as a child.
Yeah.
And it just sort of, I'm dumbfounded for words half the time because I couldn't bear to lose my children, and to see what that family has gone through must be one of the most heartbreaking things.
Yeah, well said. I think as a nation we hurt for William Tyrrell's family more than most cases that are unsolved in this country. You put it perfectly. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
1318